In a quiet but powerful shift, Canada and Mexico are joining forces to launch a transformative economic partnership, one that could alter the landscape of North American trade as we know it. While the spotlight usually shines on the United States, these two countries are working diligently to establish a trade relationship that stands apart, independent from their influential neighbor. What makes this alliance so significant is its deliberate exclusion of the United States, breaking away from a long-standing tradition that has shaped commerce across the continent. Central to this new partnership is the Northern Corridor, a visionary land and sea route crafted to directly connect Canadian and Mexican markets. For the first time ever, goods will move between Canada and Mexico without passing through or depending on U.S. territory, infrastructure, or oversight. Traditionally, nearly all trade between these nations has been routed through the United States, subject to American rules, border inspections, and tariffs. This reliance has often left both countries exposed to sudden changes in U.S. policy and unpredictable trade tensions. The new corridor is designed to change that, providing a direct, efficient, and secure alternative that empowers Canadian and Mexican businesses and governments. The goal is ambitious: to create a seamless route for everything from high-tech automotive components and electronics to essential agricultural goods, minerals, and energy supplies. By circumventing the U.S., both countries aim to shield their economies from the unpredictability of American trade decisions, ensuring their industries can flourish regardless of shifting priorities in Washington. Officials in Ottawa and Mexico City have stated that talks are advancing at a record pace, with both governments fully dedicated to bringing this vision to life. The schedule is aggressive, with plans to finalize a comprehensive deal and launch the corridor within just a few years, a remarkably swift timeline for such a major undertaking. If they succeed, this initiative will rewrite the rules of North American trade, establishing a new system focused on bilateral cooperation and shared prosperity. The regional balance of power could shift dramatically, as Canada and Mexico gain greater autonomy and influence, no longer bound to the changing tides of U.S. politics. Both nations are pouring resources into new infrastructure, advanced technology, and workforce training, signaling a deep, long-term commitment to this partnership and a shared economic future. As political uncertainty lingers in Washington, Canada and Mexico are making bold moves to secure their futures, building resilience against outside pressures, and preparing for a rapidly changing world. The development of new railways, ports, and logistics centers is more than just construction. It's the cornerstone of a new era of regional collaboration and prosperity. As these foundations are set, Canada and Mexico are not just creating new trade routes, they're shaping a future that could transform North America's economic landscape for generations to come. The driving force behind this agreement is the recent spike in U.S. tariffs and taxes, which have sent shockwaves through North American trade. Over the past year, the United States has implemented a series of new tariffs and stricter customs regulations, making it more expensive and unpredictable for goods to cross its borders. This sudden shift has forced businesses and governments alike to rethink their strategies. These measures have disrupted traditional trade routes that once flowed smoothly across the continent. Long lines of trucks now wait at border checkpoints, and delays have become the new normal for companies relying on just-in-time delivery. For Canadian and Mexican exporters, these new barriers have made it not only costly, but also logistically complicated to move goods through the U.S. Freight trains are halted, and trucks are often rerouted, leading to increased expenses and uncertainty for businesses on both sides of the border. In response, both nations have been pushed to seek alternatives, coming together in a rare show of unity to protect their economic interests and ensure the stability of their industries. The Northern Corridor is a direct response to these challenges. It's a bold initiative designed to shield the Canadian and Mexican economies from future U.S. policy swings, providing a reliable route that bypasses the uncertainties of U.S. border politics. Key industries like automotive and steel, which depend on seamless, uninterrupted supply chains, are especially vulnerable to these disruptions. The new corridor ensures that these sectors can continue to operate efficiently, regardless of what happens in Washington. The timing of this project is crucial. It comes just before a major review of the USMCA, the trade agreement that underpins North American commerce. With uncertainty looming, there's a sense of urgency among Canadian and Mexican leaders to act now, rather than wait for new terms to be dictated from Washington. Rather than passively waiting for the outcome of negotiations, Canada and Mexico are proactively building their own system. By investing in new infrastructure and alternative routes, they're taking control of their economic future. Ultimately, this corridor serves as their economic escape hatch, a strategic move that gives both countries leverage and security in all future negotiations. It's a clear message: Canada and Mexico are ready to chart their own course, no matter how the winds of U.S. policy may shift. The creation of a new Canada-Mexico trade corridor is poised to reshape the economic landscape of North America, and the consequences for the American heartland could be profound. For decades, the United States has served as the central artery for trade between its northern and southern neighbors, but this new route threatens to bypass the U.S. entirely, delivering a major economic blow to the country's core industries and communities. Experts project that the U.S. could face staggering losses, up to $245 billion in the first 5 years alone, as trade and investment flow along the new corridor instead of through American soil. This isn't just a number, it represents real businesses, families, and communities that could be affected. The federal government stands to lose $69 billion in direct tax revenue, money that would otherwise fund schools, infrastructure, and public services across the nation. The logistics sector, truckers, port workers, and warehouse staff, could see $17 billion in lost business, threatening the livelihoods of countless Americans who depend on these jobs. In the Midwest, where manufacturing and supply chain jobs are the backbone of many communities, job losses could reach $39 billion. Factories may sit idle, warehouses could empty out, and workers may be forced to seek new opportunities as supply chains shift away from American soil. This development highlights the risks of overdependence on being the central trade hub. When global trade routes change, the impact can ripple through every corner of the economy, exposing vulnerabilities that were previously hidden. Even if the U.S. were to reverse its tariffs or renegotiate trade deals, the sheer efficiency and cost savings of the new corridor may make it the preferred route for years to come. Investments in modern infrastructure in Canada and Mexico could further cement this shift. If these trends continue, the shift could become permanent, locking in economic losses for the U.S. and leaving some communities struggling to adapt to a new reality. The North American trade landscape is being redrawn before our eyes, and unless the U.S. finds new ways to compete, it may find itself left on the sidelines, watching as opportunity passes by. The Northern Corridor is a $120 billion infrastructure project, creating a seamless trade route between Canada and Mexico. It combines new and existing rail lines with upgraded ports, ensuring goods move efficiently without touching U.S. soil. The project aims for a border-free cargo experience, integrating customs and advanced tracking to eliminate bottlenecks. Both governments are pushing for full operation by 2028, showing their commitment to this strategic vision. This investment secures vital industries like automotive and agriculture against political disputes at the U.S. border. The scale of the project is a complete overhaul, not a minor adjustment designed for long-term resilience. The corridor is built to last, set to become the main artery for Canada-Mexico trade for decades. The new corridor will be a showcase for advanced digital technologies, including blockchain for secure, transparent shipment tracking. Digitizing the supply chain will streamline customs, cut paperwork, and reduce fraud. Sustainability is central. Plans include electric trains, cleaner ships, and optimized routes to cut emissions. The corridor will also serve as a high-speed data route, attracting global tech companies seeking efficient, eco-friendly logistics. These innovations make the corridor more than just a U.S. bypass. It's a next-generation trade superhighway. The efficiencies and green credentials will keep it competitive, no matter how U.S. policy changes. Canada and Mexico are building a smart, sustainable trade route designed for the future. For years, the U.S.-Mexico economic relationship has been defined by deep integration, especially in manufacturing. Mexico became the U.S.'s top trading partner thanks to nearshoring and cross-border supply chains. The U.S. has long dominated Mexican trade and investment, with over 80% of Mexican exports heading north. This partnership has fueled prosperity, but also created vulnerability. Any disruption has immediate, far-reaching effects. Now that dependence is driving Mexico and Canada to seek a new path. The Northern Corridor directly challenges the old model, signaling a disruptive shift in regional trade. The future of U.S.-Mexico trade is now clouded by new tariffs and the looming USMCA review, injecting uncertainty into the market. Businesses on both sides of the border are scrambling to adapt to shifting rules and rising risks. Globally, trade alliances are being redrawn, and the Canada-Mexico corridor is a prime example of this realignment. Companies must now plan for sudden policy shifts and logistical changes, making resilience and flexibility essential. The old U.S.-centric trade playbook is quickly becoming obsolete. Success will go to those who adapt and diversify. As new partnerships form, North America's commercial ecosystem is in flux. The rules of the game are being rewritten in real time. The Canada-Mexico corridor marks a fundamental shift in North American trade power dynamics. For decades, the U.S. was the center of continental commerce. Now that's changing. This new artery operates independently of the U.S., moving toward a more balanced multipolar system. The corridor's efficiency and technology will attract trade and investment, shifting the economic center of gravity. New industrial hubs could rise in Canada and Mexico, reducing U.S. dominance. This is a long-term vision for a resilient, diversified North American economy. The Northern Corridor is a symbol of a new era, one where regional power is shared and the flow of goods is more dynamic than ever.